What's going on, everybody? It's K4K Crypto here. I'm just going to go over some quick things. It's going to be a very short video today. I mean it this time. I mean it. It's going to be about quick little fixes if you have issues with like failed transactions. This goes for pretty much, I guess, any blockchain as well. So it's blockchain agnostic. It's just good information to know, if you're having failed transactions. And also, I'm going to go over some of the stuff that people are having problems with in the PulseX DEX. So, common problems or misconceptions. So let's log in here. One, two, oop. What's on here? Oh, there we go. All right. Let's make myself smaller. So, a lot of people are having issues whenever they're trying to pull out their PRT and say, oh, am I not staked in here right now? No, it's not connected. All right, let's connect. Do. What's going on here? All right, well, here's some technical difficulty. Try refreshing the page. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, we got live issues. Refreshing the page sometimes fixes it, guys. All right. Connecting your wallet, important. Now, some people some people staked over there's like a max amount. See this max stake per user. Right now is that 1 billion? Yes. I believe it's 1 billion or 10 billion. Looking like 10 million. It's 10 million. All right, so only 10 million max per user, and that just means if you send more to another wallet or another address, you can stake that too. It doesn't stop you. It doesn't know all of your addresses are connected. This is most likely just a preventative measure during the testnet so that it's not filled with like so much PulseX that nobody else can like look like they're earning this PRT token just for fun. People want to see that they're earning stuff. I think it's just more fun on testnet, and so I think it's just a limited measure there. I doubt we're gonna have maxes on mainnet. So don't worry about that. But another issue I've seen people run into is whenever they go to harvest, sometimes you go to harvest and you just have an issue, and it says like failed constantly. Make sure that you have not over the max amount, because if you were in this pool beforehand and you never pulled out, you might be having this issue. So instead of doing that now, what you should do, and what if you have that issue, is you remove your total stake. And whenever you remove your stake or add stake, it actually also harvests any PRT that you earned. And that's how it is for all of these all these pools. It will be like that. So whenever you go to remove or add liquidity, it will. Well, it's not technically liquidity. You go to remove or add stake, it will also harvest your stuff. It doesn't like delete it, and it's not like you have to harvest first and then remove, because that's just an extra transaction. You're paying extra fee. You actually don't have to do that. It's more gas efficient for the contract to actually just harvest your stuff at the same time that you add stake or remove stake. So that's what's happening there. So if you're having that issue where it just constantly fails, just try removing your liquidity, and that should harvest your stuff. Now let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, then I'll have a good reason to show you how to edit your transaction speed. Confirmed. All right. And it does seem like we still have some bad validators in rotation. We are working on it. So right now, I think the block speed is around average 8 seconds or something, as opposed to 3 seconds, right? Because it's supposed to be down to 3 seconds. But that's whenever all the validators are good and it's all turning out real good. If you have a bad validator who, you wait 3 seconds, oh, they didn't do anything, well, then it has to fail over to the next guy. And then if that's another bad one, okay, that's another 3 seconds. Then you get the good guy. And so it takes some time for their misdemeanors to turn into felonies from slashes. They get a slash every time they either do something wrong or don't process the transaction they're supposed to. And so we may think about reducing the amount of slashes required to remove a bad node from operation. That way we don't have these long stints of slower blocks, and you get to the new, better validators that are actually online quicker. So another great reason to that we're testing the testnet before go live, because like this stuff can be fixed. Say if this were mainnet right now, if it was, we can still run updates to fix more Pulsechain code to make it even better over time. But why not just have it super awesome, always working, like even better from the get-go? It's just better, I think, to start like that. This is just testnet. Anyway, if you haven't noticed, I got all this harvested, and I have my PulseX back. And then, so let's say I wanted to add stake back. Let's just put it all back in. Confirm. So if you ever, say you tried just the basic confirm, and then it said fail. It said something about gas limit or something, or not enough gas. If it ever says not enough gas, you're going to want to click edit suggested gas fee, and you're going to want to raise your gas limit. You can usually move it up, I would say, like, see how it's 276,000? I would say moving it up around, depending on what it is, because it will fluctuate over time, so it's not like static numbers. Like if it's, the gas limit can change the estimated base, and you're going to want to increase this by, you can go up by like 50% or double it, depending on how badly you need it, because you're paying in Pulse. It's super, super cheap. Anyway, whenever you raise this gas limit, it raises the potential cost. So let's go with, we're just going to make it 400,000. That 40,000, 400,000. And then you can always raise your fee to something way more than the average that it's estimating. Sometimes the estimations are off and it should be higher, but it gives you a lower one and then you just miss your block. So just increase it here, and you always have to have this number be lower than your max fee. So just make this usually like one better. Max fee is higher than necessary. Yeah, it's just warning me that it's like, oh, you're gonna pay more. It's like, yeah, I want my transaction to go through. Confirm. Then we wait. And that's one of the main ways that you can get around having failed transactions, is to change your gas limit, make it a little higher, change your max priority fee. That's the fee to the miner. There we go, confirmed. So now we're in the pool. No issues with removing supply and re-adding it. That harvested our stuff. So that's a cool thing. I saw a misconception that people were like, oh, if you don't harvest your PRT before you add or remove liquidity, you lose it. It's like, nope, you get it. Another important trick is, let's see if we can get to it from here. Oh yeah, so if you click on here, say you have PRT, or you've never gotten PRT or whatever this new token is before, it may not be in your MetaMask wallet as a token. So like even if you got it, it might not show up here. So what you want to do anytime with these new stuffs, say there's a new pool that gets added, a new token you've never interacted with. See how it says see token info or view contract or add to MetaMask? So they actually made it real easy. Usually you have to go and manually go to like the block explorer, find the contract address, copy that, then import it into your MetaMask. So you just scroll down here, see I have all these, and you would hit import token, and you could either go to view contract. So I guess we'll try that now. And here's the contract address. You just copy that. And then you could put it here. Is this the right contract address? Maybe that's not the right one. One second here. Oh, token info. Let's go here. Oh, okay, this is not the one either. What if we just hit add to MetaMask? Because that should do it. I don't know why. I mean, I already have PRT added, so maybe that's why it's giving me that error. But usually it says like the correct, like, oh, you already have it. So if I hit add to MetaMask, that should add it normally. So that's one way you can add these new farm tokens or pool tokens is you just look for these buttons on the side that will take you directly either to the contract address. I'm pretty sure this is the right one. Let me see here. Let's see. If it takes you here, you know, if you click on contract address back here, view contract, you see this and this contract doesn't look legit or whatever, or not like the right one, then click on party, and this should be the real party contract address. So sometimes you just have to think a little bit. Oh look, it's even it's like, oh, do you want to add this? Boom. Added. So like there you go. That's how you know it's the real one. It's called party. Total supply right there. You can even read how the contract works if you wanted to. You can see how many people are holding it. Looks like there's almost 1,400 of us using the testnet. That's pretty cool. I guess you could use the testnet and not get any party, but so probably more than that. Probably more than 1,400. How cool. I'm trying to keep this video short. It's already 11 minutes. Oh my goodness. All right. What else can we go over that I heard some people talking about? So a lot of people were just having those errors. So if you use those tips and tricks, you should be able to get around most of those errors. And then supplying liquidity. So yeah, if you ever, oh yeah, there's also one other thing. It's like the compounding thing. I think it's in here. I thought it would show up. I wonder if they removed it already. Let's see. Collect. Ah, here it is. Does this only show up whenever you do it from this page? Because there's like two ways to harvest. So if I harvest here, there's no option to compound. Uh-huh. But if you go and you change the view to this tile, and you hit collect, it says compound. Which is weird because it says literally right here, you must harvest and compound your earnings manually from this pool. So I don't know if there's ones in the future where compounding should work more seamlessly, but I have had issues with the compounding here, but I've also had it work before. So what this does is it sells your PRT and buys more PulseX so that you're earning more of the token again. So it's compounding your gains from your yield and buying PulseX because PulseX is what's allowing you to earn that yield. So it is compounding your gains. So let's try a compound. And I wonder if it's too small or something. Oh, one issue that you might come into is if you have, say you have more than the max amount of stake or very close to it, and then you try to compound, it's going to try to add more PulseX stake, which obviously isn't allowed because there's a max, and so you're going to get a failure. So remove all your liquidity, only put in like, you know, something way below the max, and then try compounding, and it should work. So let's give it a shot. We're just going to do 400,000. Going to do 50. 51. Confirm it. Well, I'm not sure if this window has to stay up or not, but I wonder if I could exit now. It probably should still go through. Let's see if it fails or not. It did fail. Now, this could be because it does say you have to do it manually, so, or you need a certain amount and it won't work otherwise. So right now it says manually. It could just be they need to change it that compounding it shouldn't even be an option for this because it literally says right here, you must harvest and compound your earnings from this pool manually. So let's just try a harvest. Let's just do it on the basic, see if it goes through. Yeah, and these little gas tricks, there we go, confirm transaction. So harvesting and then compounding manually, not using the compound button, seems to work. So I would recommend doing that. So these are these are little tricks for gas changes to make sure that your transactions have enough gas to actually go through. So otherwise, you'll get this gas limit error sometimes when the network is very busy, especially whenever the gas limit is going up per block. If there's enough usage, the gas limit increases automatically. And so you're going to have to know that little trick if you want your transactions to go through come mainnet. Now I'm going to give you guys one extra little tidbit that's important to know is if you go to settings in the upper right, you can make the standard always faster, so it makes it instant. That's why whenever I just do the basic confirm, it's usually just going to work for me. Whereas the people set on standard, maybe they don't get into the same block that I get in because I'm paying slightly more gas. Like if I'm paying, technically I'm paying double the gas, but if I'm doubling like 0.00001 cents, what do I care? I want my transaction to go through. I don't know about you guys. Then you can change your slippage tolerance default. You know, if you're trading large amounts, you may need to up your tolerance. If you're doing small amounts, you can do like little bits. But you might as well try and do as low as possible if you aren't worried about it going through for sure or like a timing thing. But yeah, because this will make your transactions fail sometimes as well. If the slippage tolerance, like if the price changes too much whenever you go to do it, that can cause it to be like, oh, you would have slipped too much and your tolerance is only 1% and it would have been a 2% slippage trade, then it fails. And so it could be the case that that's possibly why the compounding doesn't work sometimes, is if your slippage tolerance isn't high enough. When you go to compound, when it goes to sell that stuff, if it moves the price too much, then it will fail because of your tolerance. So, yeah. You can also change your deadline limit to 1 instead of 20. I think the base is here. I think 1 is much better because I'd rather, otherwise you just have this hanging transaction that's waiting 20 minutes, even though you could just reset and do another transaction in less than a minute. Because these transactions should be going through in like seconds. So waiting minutes means you've missed like 33 different validators for your transaction to go through. So that means something's probably wrong and you'd want to update your stuff. So just wait 1 minute. I don't even know if you can go less. So I just went to 1. Works for me. Expert mode, I turn that on. It allows me to basically, well, here it even tells you what it does. Expert mode turns off the confirm transaction prompt and allows high slippage trades that often result in bad rates and lost funds. Use only if you know what you're doing. Turn on expert mode. You have to confirm at the top 1 time. Otherwise, if you go to make a trade, like say it's time sensitive, it'll ask you to type in confirm every time. And then, yeah, it's just not as good. That is only for experts though. If you're having that issue where if it's causing you, sorry, my throat, I got a cough. If you have an issue where you're trying to constantly make these trades and they're high slippage ones, but you want to make them because you know what you're doing, hopefully, you might want to turn expert mode on. That's a way to get through that. So anyway, that's the video for today. It somehow couldn't keep it shorter than 10 minutes. Wow. Okay. Anyway, good seeing you guys. I'm out for the day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell, and keep being awesome Mexicans out there. What's up? Boom.